It's a nightmare. Hidden secrets and hidden ways to help you on your Mounjaro weight loss stall. My friends, I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Freddie. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have actually lost just shy of 80 pounds. I'm currently on a weight loss stall. And I want to go through hidden reasons you may not have thought about with your weight loss journey, on your Mounjaro weight loss journey, your zepbound weight loss journey, that you maybe not have thought about that will help you push past this weight stall. For me, and I have been on Mounjaro 15 milligrams now for over 13 months, every time I have a weight stall, then a large whoosh comes for me. Well, in today's video, we're gonna talk about some hidden reasons that you may not have thought about on this weight loss stall journey, because it's a part of it for me. It's very much a part of it that will help you, hopefully, if you're in the same boat that I am, because it can get very mentally frustrating, and I'm over it. And I know some of you are over it too, if you're in the same boat as me. So let's go ahead and dive through. For weight stalls, a couple of tools that I want to help you with, they will be linked in the description link below, is free. One is my Mounjaro Weight Loss Success Checklist. Two is my free Mounjaro Weight Loss Encouragement Group. Thousands of people are in that amazing group. It's an encouraging, safe space, positivity, and it's free. Join that, it's in the description link below. With myself, of people who've been on Mounjaro for over a year and people who are just starting and everywhere in between. So free resources, some of the things that I encourage is getting the Renfo scale and smart tape measure. I love the scale because it syncs to my phone, but more importantly is the smart tape measure during a weight stall gives you another metric and another unit of measurement to know that you're making progress. So, and I've got a couple of those, and that's going to be tip number one for us to push past our weight stall and some of these secret hidden things that no one really talks about on Mounjaro weight loss or zepbound weight loss. You can see on the internet these big, I lost 11 pounds my first week. That was me. That was my video that had that on the first week. And then then real life happens. Like there's a lot that goes into that. But having this smart tape body measure has been, it's like 25 bucks, the best purchase, because I can see the inches shrinking, right? And on this, it's the muscle mass scale. I can see how my muscle mass is doing, because that, quite frankly, is really, really important. As we lose weight, you lose muscle mass. That's fact. That's not like with Mounjaro weight loss or just with zepbound weight loss. And so having that's really helpful. I bought recently, because a viewer told me, so thank you if that was you. They also have a smart blood pressure cuff that syncs all along with that too. So it's one app for all of those things. So with my weight stall, it has been, so let's define that, more than 3 weeks, right? Like if it's 1 week or 2 week, and I want to say don't get frustrated, but I'd get frustrated with that because I want like this instant thing. And erroneously, I think because of all the media hype with Ozempic and WEGOVY and Mounjaro and zepbound, that there's all this hype around losing so much weight that it can skew the realism of what GLP medications can do. And again, I'm not a doctor or a healthcare professional. I don't pretend to play one on the internet. I will always point you back to your healthcare provider. These videos are simply but my experience, strength, and hope to help encourage you and provide a motivational, hopefully, space of what you can take what you want and leave the rest of some encouragement. So with weight stalls, we know, let's define it, more than 3 weeks, 3 weeks or more. And so I'm on that right now. Changing my unit of metrics and measurement have been using this smart tape measure. 2 is taking pictures. If you're in the private Facebook group, I got approached this week by a major celebrity. Do not say who in the comments. Do not say who. And if you are in the private, do not repeat that. That should be confidential. And I had to go back through pictures, and that was crazy to me. So I want to encourage you, if you don't take selfies or pictures, it sounds vain, but it's really not. It's as a unit of measurement, because I can see my waist shrinking. And when I thought that I was super thin when I was on Good Morning America, now I've lost, I don't know, since then, like another 50 pounds or 45, somewhere in there. I can look back and be like, wow, I'm even smaller than that, you know? And so it's been a great encouraging, if there's no guilt, shame, or condemnation with those photos, I can look back and be like, yay, truly encouraging. Number 3 unit of measurement, if you're on a weight stall with Mounjaro weight loss or zepbound weight loss, because it does happen for me. I'll use my I statements. For me, it does happen, is clothes. I am down 5, yes, 5 pant sizes. I know, right? I'm still considered plus size. I got a thick milkshake bottom and some junk in the trunk, and it's become more like a pancake in a trunk, but I talked about Ozempic butt in Mounjaro butt in other videos. But having lost 5 sizes is crazy to me. It's crazy. And so using clothes, the shirt that I'm wearing underneath this, last summer I bought it. It's an Amazon shirt. And I could not wear it last year. It's still tight. It definitely is still tight, but it fits. It fits. And so that is very, very exciting that like the shirt fits, and that's crazy. And I bought this blazer and it still actually has the price tag on it. I need to take that price tag off. And it's a size lower than the blazer I bought last year in this color. If you guys, there's eagle eye counts and countesses out there that notice these things. This one's smaller, and I just bought some new clothes on Amazon, which we'll talk about later, another day. So going back to the weight stall, number one is changing the unit of measurement. For me, using the Smart Tape Measure. If you don't want to buy a $25 thing, I like it because of the ease of syncing it to one app with the scale, with the blood pressure cuff, but using a tape measure. Or a piece of string even. You can measure that and change the measurements. 2 photos, 3 clothes. Second thing on hidden reasons and secrets that you may be having a weight stall is I want to encourage you to know that this just could be a hormonal thing, right? Like, so have you done your blood panels and things like that? Have you talked with your healthcare provider? If you need a new healthcare provider, my absolute favorite is linked in the description link below. It's Join Fridays. Use the code QUEEN in capital letters, Queen. They're amazing. I've used them for a long time now. I love them. They're, in my humble opinion, from my research, the best for the GLP-1 community, but that is simply my experience, strength, and hope. And so if you're having a weight stall, when was the last time you had a blood panel? Join Fridays made me have a blood panel recently, right? Which was one of the many reasons why I love them, is because they inspect what they expect. And so they're not just like, you got to be eligible to go through the prescription. Like, there's some of these companies, the telehealth out there, that I'm like, it blows my mind. They're not like they're great medical healthcare professionals. So anyways, do you need a blood panel? Have you done one recently? That's tip number 2. Number 3. And this is where I want to really deep dive in today's video. So go get some water, go refill your Simple Modern or your Stanley. I love Simple Moderns. I'll link those down below because they don't get the mold on them like the Stanleys do. Is changing lifestyle changes. And so I have to take an honest appraisal. And I've done another video on this. I'm not sure when it's going to come out in the sequence of the food noise and food chatter for me has been back. Because I am at the highest dose, Mounjaro 15 milligrams, and there is nowhere else for me to go, I have been testing things like changing the injection site, changing times of day. I've done a ton of videos on those. Click like and subscribe, and you can check out the playlist down below to see those ad nauseum, and that should hopefully help you if you are in a weight stall, because I'm leaning into that heavily, and that's been very helpful. I took my shot last night, which I had been telling you guys I'd been taking in the afternoon, and in the morning I did it at nighttime. And I am so nauseous right now as one of the Mounjaro side effects, which is good. I'm leaning into that. I'm grateful actually for that. But taking a self-appraisal, because the food chatter and because the food noise is back for me, am I making the lifestyle changes that Eli Lilly told me I needed to? Eli Lilly, the manufacturer of Mounjaro and Zepbound, tells us in the literature, we need to make lifestyle changes with our physical activity and with food. And for me, there's a third component on there is the healing that relationship with food has been extra. It's not just the food changes, it's also the association with the food changes. And I've done a lot of work on that. A lot, right? A lot. Because one doesn't get 125 pounds overweight without having an unhealthy relationship with food and being morbidly obese, not just obese, but morbidly obese without having some sort of healing that needs to happen with that relationship with food. I can't just go to eating like chicken and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's had to be some healing to go with eating that, with making different food choices. So taking an honest inventory and an honest appraisal on this, what am I doing for those 3 things basically? One for me is this past week, I have gotten hardcore about walking. And I've shared this before, and it's so simple that I think people skip over it. They're like, oh, it needs to be harder. It needs to be more difficult. It doesn't need to be harder or difficult. Make it easier for yourself. But everyone has access to walking around the block or walking up and down stairs. Or if you are bedridden, being able to talk to your doctor about what are some other chair exercises to do. I have a great one. The Countess and I have been talking about this. There is a chair exercise that he actually saw and he wanted me to recommend, but I want to test it first before I recommend it. If that is of interest to you, chair exercises, tell me in the description link below. When I was 80 pounds overweight, I wish I had that because I couldn't physically do lifting and other things that I can do now, right? Like, but at the beginning it would have been, and I still want to do it just because it looks really cool. Anyways, I digress. So going back over walking, it's the easiest thing. And I had done a whole video, and I'll link down below my disgusting dirty shoes, and I'm showing my nasty shoes, but I'm showing these to you because they're $25. They're cloud shoes, they're slip-on. I did a whole video on best walking shoes for overweight women and obese women, and these are my favorite. They're 25 bucks on Amazon. They're so comfortable. I don't have to wear socks if I don't want to with them when I walk the dog. And walking the dog, what I've been doing, and hopefully this helps encourage you, is I walk 3 miles. It's basically a non-negotiable. Last night I walked, and at mile 2 I got a really severe pain in my side, so I did stop. But I have been doing this the past week, and I've been tracking my times and trying to beat that. So last night's time I needed to beat was 52 minutes. I had started, it was over an hour to walk 3 miles with the dog. So the dog sniffs too, that's part of it. So I've been trying to be like, keep going, you're not allowed to poop. We're on a mission here. So for 52 minutes, that's where I'm at right now. And that has been so motivational. What is your walking? If you can't think of something, just start walking. I would love that to be my legacy for you of like, the Countess started getting me into walking because it is so simple that I think people just don't do it, or oh, like I'll do it tomorrow, or oh, whatever. Like literally just start walking if you're physically able to. And I know this is the other yang to it, is I think, and I don't mean to get emotional. I hate when I get emotional in videos. I hate it, but I'm getting so passionate about stuff. People in our audience who can't walk, and people in our audience who physically are not able to. And that makes me walk. That makes me be like, I'm gonna be grateful. I get to go walk. I get to go do this. Like that is a profound shift, right? And like, oh, I have to go do this. I get to go do this. I get to go walk. So I get to go walk 3 miles later today. And you guys know I am afraid of worms, and when it rains, worms come out, and last night there was worms, and I did it anyway. Maybe that was why I had like the sharp pain in my side, because I was like so afraid and I was like shaking with the worms. But what is gonna be for you for your weight stall? Let's go back to the task at hand. Whew, I need to just take a deep breath there for a second. What is going to be your physical activity that you're going to commit to, right? Because Eli Lilly tells us we have to make permanent lifestyle changes. That GLP-1 is a tool. It is like the golden ticket, but it is but a tool in our toolbox. There are other tools in the toolbox. You got a hammer, you got a screwdriver, you got some nails, you know what I mean? Like there's other tools in the toolbox. It's not the only tool. We've got to use it with some of these other things. It can be as simple as walking. You do not have to complicate this. And I'm saying that to you, but I mean with my I statements, I do not have to complicate this, which is why I've been walking. I canceled my gym membership. We went and canceled it. We were paying almost $100 a month because it's a Jaja pool, a gym that has a pool, and they have childcare, and I just wasn't going. So I'm walking. That's mine. What is yours? Tell me in the comments below. What are you committing to physically move? They tell us, Eli Lilly tells us, we need to have an increase in physical activity. And if you look it up, it's like something like 300 minutes. Eli Lilly doesn't tell us that. Experts, who's they? I should say, you guys know I'm like super scientific of cite my source. Who's they? I need to come up, who is they? But I read it somewhere on the internet, so it must be true. No, but 300 minutes is what is recommended. I think there's some scientific study on that. 2, let's go back to our list at hand to help break through weight loss stalls of literally what I am doing now. This is off the beaten path, but a couple of things. I'm getting back to tracking, and I hate tracking. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I don't hate anything. I don't like it, and I need to lean into things, and I always tell you guys in my videos over the last 13 months, if I don't find a way to make it enjoyable, I'm not gonna do it, and then I'm not gonna make it a permanent lifestyle change. So for me, for tracking, I need to track for the next week. I do. Because my portion sizes are out of control, because I'm not having appetite suppression as much, I'm not having the food noises back. There's been this like stopping point. And I don't know if that's hormonal or what, like I'm just trying to ride it through, and I'm trying to do everything I possibly can with God's help to figure this out. Of how can I get back into that cadence and rhythm that I was. It's way better than it was, 13 months ago. But still, I'm not where I want to be on my goal. I'm 80 pounds down, which is amazing, but I want to get to that 125 pound weight loss, at least to 100 pounds. I mean, I just want to be out of the obese category. You know what I'm saying? I haven't checked recently to see if I'm like, I'm not morbidly obese anymore, but is it like, I want to get to the overweight category. going to be out of the obese category. So tracking, I'm going back, that's number 2. I'm tracking. I don't like tracking, but I'm going to figure out how to make it joyful. I tell my kid all the time, there's certain things we have to do in this life that are just not fun, but you got to figure out how to make it joyful for you. And so I'm going to figure out how to make this joyful for me. I don't know how, but with the Lord's help, I'm going to figure it out. Number 3 is changing my food. Now, I have a discounted link for the Weight Watchers app down below. They've actually changed it over. I used to smash and hardcore rail against Weight Watchers, but actually really like their app quite a bit. It's meant for GLP-1 users. It's protein focused. And that is an option. The discounted link is down below for you. If you want to use that to help you with food, or the GLP-1 dietitian that I've talked about before, she's got a membership program. I'll link that down below for you. But what I'm doing is, there was a gentleman on Instagram. Let me find his name so I can cite my source on it. Let me make sure my volume's not on. And I love him. He cusses quite a bit. Some people don't like that at all. It's gonna drive me nuts that I can't find his name right away. I was just watching his stuff, and this is what he said. Oh, I wanna cite my source so badly. I'll find it and put it in the description link, because this is gonna make me nuts. He is very New York. If you're a New Yorker or New Jerseyer, my family is from, my husband's family is from New Jersey, so it's very like blunt, in your face, direct. If you don't like that type of communication, get past that, because his message is so good. And so he said today in one of his videos that popped up was protein and calories. He was talking about weight stalls, and I was like, yes. And he said about upping your protein. And he basically said, times your protein for your ideal weight by a certain number, and times your calories at a certain weight by a certain number. And so I'm gonna do that. And so for me, my goal is to have 150 grams of protein in one day with 1,800 calories. I used ChatGPT to help me come up with a Chipotle meal plan with that. Sounds so crazy, but ride with me. I love Chipotle. I wish I was sponsored by them. I'm not. But they have clean food, it's filling to me, and it tastes really, really good, and I get excited about it. And I go back to this whole message of, if I'm excited about it, I'm gonna do it, right? And so I'm not buying groceries. My family, I'm not buying superfluous extra stuff. I'm gonna go there for the next couple of days and see how that goes for me, and see how that works for my weight stall to get my protein in. ChatGPT did come up for me a meal plan. If that is all of interest to you, tell me in the comments below. Or if you're like, if you think I'm wacky, don't tell me, I don't care. You actually don't need to tell me that. I already kind of know I'm wacky. But going back over of upping my protein and upping my protein substantially, but keeping the calories within that range, that is my focus. That is my focus. And you guys know I love BioCare, the protein supplement drinks. I love them. It's 6 ounces of 20 grams of protein, only 130 to 150 calories. I love them. I'll link them down below. One of our viewers got it and was like, Elizabeth, I love it. And I was like, yay, I'm so glad. Like, I love it. I very much appreciate and value if you trust me enough for my recommendation. Like, like that to me is like the holy grail of like, I want to earn your respect on that for products that I recommend, that I'm buying, that I'm buying and things like that, that with your hard-earned money, I very much respect and appreciate that. And the viewer said, because I used to say I chug it, and she's like, no, I sip it and I savor it and I enjoy it. She didn't say it quite like that, but that's how I am interpreting it. And I'm like, it was such a great comment, because I'm like, why am I not sipping it? Why am I not savoring it? Why am I not enjoying it? Why am I chugging it? I think to get an in to check the box. But it was if this was you, thank you so much. Whoever this viewer, I wish I could remember the person's name, but it meant so much to me, which is why here on YouTube, you guys mean so much to me. Like, you don't know. I talk about you all the time to my husband. The account's like, stop talking about YouTube. I'm like, I love my YouTube friends. Like, you guys are not strangers. Like, you're my friends, which is why at the end, you're gonna wanna stay till the end. That's how I get to know people, but we'll talk about that later. So if that was you, thank you so much, because it was a reframe of like, slow it down, savor it, enjoy it. And because oh, he arises from his morning toilette. Hello, sleepy. He's ready for his 3-mile walk. So going back over to what I was talking about, I'm gonna be eating less food because I've been eating more, because I wasn't having the appetite suppression and I was having the food chatter. So what am I going to do to enjoy the smaller portions with that? Because I have to cut back on my portions. What am I gonna do to enjoy and savor that? Slow down. And that's number 4 for me. Slow it down. which is very hard for me. It's very, very hard for me. And maybe it's hard for you too, or maybe it's easy for you, but for me, it's hard. It's hard. I like working, I like being a mom, I like being a wife, I like doing for that, but then having the slow time for myself is very uncomfortable, which is something I'm clearly working really hard on. So these have been helpful for me. Along the weight loss journey, I get asked so much about loose skin. Yes, of course I have loose skin. I do intermittent fasting. Dr. Fung, the daddy of intermittent fasting, talks about with his patients not having loose skin surgery from intermittent fasting. I love that. I was not able to continue with that because it triggered for me a disordered eating with food, which I've clearly had to go work with outside help on, which there's no shame in that game. There's a lot of respect for that too, because I know I'm one of many who've had to go do that. And so he talks about the loose skin. I do have loose skin. Like I probably will have to have the loose skin surgery because of all the yo-yoing and things like that. These two products, I'm not sponsored by them. I bought them with my own money. I'm obsessed with for my body. This 10 ounces, it lasts a long time. I will link it down in the description link below. It is my favorite. I also love the Sol de Janeiro Balm Dia. I'll link that down below as my second choice. This is number like 10 out of 10. To me, this is holy grail. Like I love it. And then for my neck has changed quite a bit. I do lasers. You guys have seen Dr. Neiman came on the show when she was on. She is my doctor to help with Ozempic face and Mounjaro face. And so I've clearly she's helping me with that. This has been great for my neck. Like I love it. It's the holy grail for me, but I do have a less expensive, it's expensive, right? Because it works, but it's expensive. They do have a less expensive, another company that I've tested that I bought with my own money that I love. The packaging is not like this. It's like out of a jar, and so therefore the price is substantially less expensive, but that one also really works. So depending on some people really want the Zha Zha high end, and some people want like regular pricing stuff, I will link both of those down below for you too. And of course, at nighttime, I've switched over to having my electrolytes. What am I taking instead of snacking? Because the appetite suppression is not as high as it used to be on Mounjaro 15 milligrams for me, and also because the food chatter and food noise, it goes away for day 1 and day 2, but it's back. Having my electrolytes has been very helpful for me. I'll link those down below. Element has been very gracious to give us 8 free sticks with any purchase, and they do have hot beverages ones. So for the winter months, these are amazing to put in your hot beverages, and then for cold beverages too. And then of course, you guys know, I've got my Stanleys and my Simple Moderns. If you don't have a watcher system, you better come up with one, would be my encouragement. Feel free to take or leave that, but for me, it's been Mage. I will link down below my favorite Stanleys and Simple Modern. I like the Simple Moderns actually better now because you don't have to take the top piece off like you do for your Stanley. If you don't take that off for your Stanley, you're gonna get mold. Maybe I just taught you. So one of our viewers told me that, I was like, oh my gosh. So to recap, let's put this all in a nice neat bundle for Mounjaro Weight Loss Doll. 1, it has been a nightmare for me. And so having these hidden secrets, revealing them is embarrassing, but also freeing. But I'd rather be honest and direct and authentic with you guys and not be Pollyanna of like, I'm stuck and it really bothers me. And when people make comments that, oh, you've been stuck at that weight. Yes, B, I have been stuck at that weight. Clearly, because I'm going through a weight stall. So frustrating. I'm like, why would you make that comment? Anyways, there's some not healthy people on the internet. And I'm still working through my unhealthy relationship with food too. So I got to give lots of grace to other people as I want grace for myself. Going back over, what is the physical activity? Tell me in the comments below. All right, we are not talkers here at Countess of Shopping, we are doers. So tell me, or tell yourself, but tell something. What are you physically going to change this week or to make a permanent lifestyle change for your physical activity? For me, it's walking 3 miles per day. I'm trying to beat my time every single day. I'm down to 52 minutes. I was at like an hour and 7 minutes. It was long, or an hour and 2 minutes. It was long. Now I'm to 52 minutes. The dog, I'm like, you cannot go poop. Keep going. Number 2, changing up my protein and my calories. And with that, number 3 is tracking that, right? Making sure I'm accurately doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And for me, that can be very, very triggering. This is the next hurdle for me. Getting past this tracking thing. It's the next big thing for me for like the next evolution of my weight loss with my Mounjaro weight loss and zepbound weight loss. Again, if you need any of these tools I talked about, particularly that smart tape and the scale, I'll link those in the description link below. Look at this strong muscle. Are you encouraging our friends? He is. Okay, sweet friends, make sure you join my free Mounjaro weight loss group. And we do a little thing here at the Countess of Shopping of where I give you an emoji and you put it down below. It helps A, for me to get to know you better. That is how I have all these YouTube friends. And B, I will pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you in positivity. Today's emoji is a hat, because I wish I had a hat on for my hat hair. My hair, I didn't get to go to the hairstylist today, so I feel like my hair looks jacked. So a hat is gonna be our emoji for the day. If you put the emoji down below, I'll know that you made it this far in the video, and I will pray over you, and or if you don't believe in prayer, uplift you in positive thought. My sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings, because life is delicious, and I'll see you over in the free encouragement group, which is linked in the description. Bye friends, have a great day.